An unassuming woman called Natalie faced public humiliation, got soaked with water, and was brutally pushed from her high school reunion at Chicago's Marriott. Former classmates and her ex-boyfriend tormented her with mockery and physical aggression until her wealthy husband Victor Grayson arrived to completely overturn their fortunes. The grand hall sparkled with opulence, yet Travis, her arrogant former boyfriend, doused her with liquid while sneering that she was worthless and impoverished. Meanwhile, Kelly emptied her handbag and Mike shoved her against furniture as the audience celebrated her expulsion, unaware that a microphone would soon reveal a devastating truth. The venue gleamed with crystal fixtures and sparkling wine glasses, filled with glittering gowns and perfectly fitted tuxedos, alive with nostalgic conversations and fresh bragging. Natalie entered, dressed in a simple ebony outfit and comfortable shoes, her reddish-brown hair styled in a casual plait. She possessed natural beauty, rich chocolate eyes, and understated sophistication, yet nobody recognized it. Her former peers saw only the shy girl from their past, frozen in their memories as insignificant. They had no clue she had transformed her narrative into something beyond their wildest imagination. Travis, her former romantic partner, noticed her immediately. He lounged near the beverage station with a bottle in his grip, his fair hair perfectly styled, still wearing that arrogant smile that had once captivated her. "Well, well, who decided to emerge from hiding?" he announced loudly enough to attract attention. "Natalie Bloody Harper. Still worthless, right?" Her expression faltered momentarily, yet she refused to retaliate. "Hello, Travis," she responded quietly, attempting to maintain civility. His laughter rang harsh and cruel, drawing spectators. "What's the deal with that outfit? You're Pat. Headache in the bedroom and can't even buy decent clothing. Some things remain unchanged, I suppose." The space erupted as old social groups reformed around his cruelty like they were back in their graduation year. Travis didn't limit himself to verbal attacks. He approached Natalie directly, pointing accusingly at her face, his alcoholic breath warm and bitter. "You're completely worthless. Understand that?" he declared, loud enough to silence the room. Then he seized her drinking glass and poured it over her head, the freezing water saturating her braid and cascading down her cheeks. "There! Now your appearance matches your pathetic nature," he bellowed, cackling as Kelly cheered. "Excellent aim!" Natalie winced as water burned her eyes, yet she didn't lose control, simply dried her face, her quiet composure serving as protection against their cruelty. Natalie hadn't intended to display her success. She'd wavered about responding to the invitation, but her old companion Jenna had pleaded with her to attend, claiming it would be enjoyable to reconnect. Natalie could have avoided it entirely. She now managed a dominant investment company, spending her days in conference rooms handling billion-dollar transactions, but she appreciated the concept of meeting familiar people without carrying the burden of her position. Her fortune was earned through hard work, constructed from nothing after struggling as a college dropout, and she maintained her privacy. No precious stones, no luxury brands, just herself, remaining modest as always. However, the moment she entered the ballroom, the atmosphere changed, and her history returned with a vengeance. The harassment continued. Kelly, the former head cheerleader sporting a platinum hairstyle and form-fitting crimson dress, approached with a smirk. "Oh, darling, did you steal that from your mother's wardrobe? This isn't a second-hand stuff. For gathering?" She flicked Natalie's plait mockingly as others joined the ridicule. "Seriously, who allowed her entry?" Brian, the former athlete-turned-automobile dealer, contributed his booming voice. "I bet she's still residing in that trashy mobile home, probably here for complimentary meals." Cruel laughter swept through the group, eyes gleaming with malicious joy. Natalie's face reddened, but she remained silent, gripping her bag, determined to endure it. Kelly escalated further, grabbing Natalie's purse and displaying it like a prize. "What's inside? Discount coupons? Government assistance?" She mocked, opening it and spilling the contents, keys, wallet, phone, onto the dirty floor. Look at that. Nothing valuable whatsoever, just like her. Brian kicked the wallet across the space, grinning. Probably empty. Poor thing needs to eat somehow. The crowd roared with laughter, some trampling her belongings, turning it into entertainment. Natalie knelt to collect them, her hands shaking, but she didn't protest, just gathered her scattered possessions as their laughter intensified. Travis continued his assault, thriving on the attention. Remember how she used to trail behind me like a stray dog? Couldn't even maintain my interest. Most boring experience I ever had. He smiled at Kelly, who cackled. That's probably why you left her, right? Complete bore. A man named Mike, now losing his hair but still loud, shouted, Hey, Nat! Found employment yet? Still living off others? The insults accumulated like a barrier of sound that struck her like physical blows. She attempted to drink her water with steady hands, but internally, her pulse was racing. She didn't want confrontation, didn't need to prove herself to these individuals. The aggression became physical. Mike wasn't satisfied with mere words. He approached menacingly, towering above Natalie, and pushed her forcefully into a table, her hip crashing against the edge with a loud impact. Move along, deadweight, he barked with his boret, humming voice as the table shook, causing drinks to spill. You're a damn eyesore. Disappear. Kelly applauded, screaming with delight. Yes, throw her out. Travis encouraged them further. She's a disgrace to this reunion. Remove her. Natalie steadied herself, pain radiating through her side. But she didn't cry out, just straightened up, her composure a quiet rebellion they didn't deserve. Kelly accidentally bumped Natalie's arm, causing her beverage to spill down her dress. Oops, my mistake. Looks more attractive wet anyway, she said, laughing as the crowd cheered. Brian grabbed a tissue, hurling it at her face. Clean up, trailer trash. Don't contaminate this place. Travis moved closer, looming over her. You're embarrassing yourself, Nat. Time to leave. Nobody desires your presence here. He gestured to the group, rallying them. Correct, everyone? Let's escort her to the exit. They applauded and yelled, a pack converging. Natalie's voice quivered as she attempted to speak. I'll depart if that's your wish. Kelly pushed her toward the exit. Good riddance. They didn't simply guide her out. They created a public display. As they dragged her toward the exit, Brian grabbed several cocktail napkins and hurled them at her, one striking her face with a wet slap. Clean yourself up, you revolting nobody, he screamed, while Travis grabbed her braid, pulling hard enough to make her gasp. Out you go, loser. Don't return crying, he sneered, shoving her through the doors as Mike kicked at her shoes, nearly causing her to fall. The crowd chanted, Goodbye, Nat, recording everything on their devices, their screens flashing like scavengers circling prey. Natalie stumbled into the corridor, her scalp aching. But she didn't look back, just stood there breathing as their jeers resonated. Mike seized her arm, pulling her past the dance area while Travis yelled, See you later, loser! The crowd separated, some filming with phones, others chanting, Out! Out! Until she stumbled into the hallway, the double doors slamming closed behind her. Natalie stood there, dress damp, braid disheveled, the echo of their mockery ringing in her ears. Rage and pain churned within her, but she didn't collapse. She despised being their target, despised how they'd transformed a night of reminiscence into public humiliation. This wasn't about her anymore. It was about their need to feel important by diminishing someone else. She retrieved her phone, hands now steady, and messaged Victor. Hey, reunion's a disaster. They expelled me. His response came immediately. What? Where are you? She typed back. Outside the Marriott, it's okay. Just difficult. His next message was in capital letters. They did what? I'm coming. Natalie sighed, a spark of relief cutting through the pain. She didn't want drama, but Victor was an unstoppable force. Once he learned she'd been hurt, nothing could restrain him. Inside, the celebration continued, unaware. Travis was toasting with Kelly, bragging about his recent sales position while Brian and Mike exchanged tales of their glory days. The MC, an enthusiastic woman named Lisa, took the microphone, her voice cutting through the chatter. "All right, everyone. Time for a special announcement. Let's give enormous thanks to the primary sponsor who made this reunion possible. Without her, we wouldn't be here tonight." The room quieted, curious. Lisa smiled. "Please applaud Natalie Harper, chairwoman of Horizon Capital." A collective gasp rippled through the crowd, heads turning, searching for her. Travis choked on his beer, his grin vanishing. "Wait, what? Natalie?" Kelly's glass slipped, splashing red wine on her gown. "Impossible. She's... that. Snot." Brian's jaw dropped, his napkin falling to the floor. "The broke chick," Lisa continued, oblivious to the shock. "Yes, Natalie's generosity funded every aspect. Venue, food, beverages, everything. She's a legend now, managing one of the largest investment firms in the nation. Let's bring her up here." The doors opened, and there she was, damp dress and all, stepping back inside with quiet grace that silenced the room. Then came Victor. He strode in behind her, 6'2", dark hair swept back, wearing a charcoal suit that radiated power. The atmosphere shifted. Every gaze locked on him. Victor Grayson was a billionaire CEO, head of Grayson Enterprises, a technology empire that dominated markets. He'd built it from a garage startup into a global brand, his charisma and ruthless ambition making him legendary in Chicago and beyond. He wrapped an arm around Natalie, his voice low but carrying. "You all right, sweetheart?" She nodded softly and steadily. "Yes, I'm fine." He kissed her forehead, then faced the crowd, his stare like ice. "Who's Travis?" Victor asked, his tone sharp enough to slice glass. Travis stepped forward shakily. That's me. Hey, man." Victor didn't allow him to finish. "You called my wife worthless. Said she's poor, boring in bed, can't dress properly." Travis paled, stammering. "It was a joke. I didn't—" Victor's laugh was frigid. "Funny guy, right? Let's see how amusing it is when I destroy you." He pulled out his phone, dialing rapidly. "Sarah, it's Victor. Travis Coleman's got an application at Grayson. Cancel it. Blacklist him. Every division, every partner firm. Done." Kelly tried to retreat, but Victor spotted her. "You in the red dress with the wine stain. You mocked her too." She froze, voice tiny. "I didn't intend—" He dismissed her, dialing again. "Mark, it's me. Kelly Sanders, real estate agent, correct? Revoke her license through our connections." She's finished. Brian and Mike cowered, but Victor wasn't finished. "You two, napkin thrower and loudmouth. Job applications anywhere? Good luck. My network's permanently closed to you." He hung up, pocketing the phone, his arm tightening around Natalie. "Anyone else want to challenge me?" The room became a morgue. Faces pale, drinks forgotten. Travis tried again, desperate. "Nat, come on. We have history." She met his eyes, calm and unwavering. "You don't have permission to call me that anymore." Victor smirked. "She's Mrs. Grayson now, newlywed, my wife, and completely out of your league." Lisa, the MC, stammered into the microphone. Let's hear it for Natalie and Victor." A feeble clap emerged, drowned by tension. Victor leaned into Natalie, voice gentle. "Why didn't you tell me they were this terrible?" She shrugged, a slight smile touching her lips. "Didn't want the drama. Thought I could manage it." He shook his head, proud and angry. "You're too kind. They don't deserve you." He faced the crowd again, louder. "This reunion, her money, her generosity, and you idiots destroyed her for it. Enjoy the evening. It's your final taste of her kindness. Travis's phone buzzed. He checked it, face crumbling. My application's rejected. No longer eligible. What the hell, man? Victor grinned, dark and dangerous. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is you never working in this city again. Victor wasn't finished. He cornered Brian and Mike by the bar as the evening wound down, his presence a wall of menace. You pushed my wife, threw garbage at her. Think that's amusing? He growled, dialing his phone. Sarah, add Brian Decker and Mike Russo to the blacklist. Every industry I influence, they're toxic. Destroy them. Brian stammered. Dude, it was a joke. But Victor interrupted him. Joke's on you now. Your dealership's dead. Consulting's over. Mike's face collapsed, his phone buzzing, with a termination text mid-sentence. The crowd watched silently as their worlds imploded, Victor's fury a guillotine they couldn't escape. Kelly's hands trembled as she scrolled her screen. A text from her broker. License under review. Sorry, Kel. Brian and Mike whispered frantically, their boasts turning to ash. Those who'd laughed loudest now stared at Natalie, her damp dress a badge of honor, her silence a weapon they'd never comprehended. She didn't celebrate. Didn't need to. Natalie took Victor's hand, allowing him to guide her to the platform. Lisa handed her the microphone nervously. Anything to say? Natalie paused, then spoke, her voice clear. I came to see old friends, not to settle accounts. But you made it this. Enjoy what remains. I'm finished here. She stepped down, Victor beside her, and they departed, leaving the ballroom in stunned silence. Later that evening, as the reunion deteriorated, Travis found Natalie in the lobby, his cocky grin replaced with a sweaty, desperate grimace. Nat, please, I didn't realize you were wealthy. I need that position at Grayson. I'm drowning in debt, he pleaded, voice breaking. Kelly joined, clutching her stained gown. We're sorry, okay? Don't let him ruin us. Natalie looked at them, her damp dress still clinging, and shook her head, calm as stone. You called me worthless, destroyed my life for entertainment. Beg all you want, I'm not rescuing you. Victor loomed behind her, smirking. You heard her. Get lost. They slunk away, broken, their pleas dust in the wind. By Monday, the consequences hit hard. Travis's job search stalled. Every company he contacted had his name flagged, Victor's influence choking him out. Kelly's license was revoked, her real estate career dead, clients abandoning her like a hot coal. Brian's dealership terminated him, citing reputation risks. And Mike's consulting contracts disappeared overnight. Kelly attempted one final approach the next day, confronting Natalie outside her office, tears flowing, gowns exchanged for casual wear. Please, Nat, I'm sorry, I'll grovel. I'll quit real estate. Anything. Don't let him destroy me, she sobbed, grabbing Natalie's arm. Natalie pulled free, her voice cool and final. You spilled my drink, trashed my belongings, laughed me out. You're finished. I don't forgive that. She walked away, leaving Kelly collapsed on the sidewalk, her pleas drowned by city noise. Victor's network had already shredded her career. No calls returned, no deals remaining, just emptiness where her life used to be. The reunion's Facebook page exploded. Photos deleted, apologies posted. But Natalie never responded. She was busy managing Horizon, her fund prospering, while Victor ensured her enemies sank. They didn't see her again. Natalie and Victor sat in their penthouse that weekend, she in comfortable clothes, he pouring wine, the city skyline theirs. You're a saint for tolerating them, he said, half smiling. She laughed, soft and genuine. Maybe, but you're my devil. Thanks for the support. He clinked her glass, eyes warm. Always, Nat. Always. Those who'd torn her down were gone. Their worlds collapsed, all because they couldn't see the queen behind the plain black dress. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for